Welcome back. This is Unrendered on IKTV. I'm Tony Regisford, and I'm chatting with Mr. Christopher Gordon and Mrs. Shelly-Ann He-Chung. I kept calling you Miss. I kept calling you Miss all the time.
And finally, my husband will not take offense.
I finally got it right in the final segment.
You did. Yeah. Congratulations.
Better late than never.
Yes.
Now, as we went to that break, my cameraman was producing a little bit of this program for me. He's talking about, and this is before we get on to talk about Columbus in general, the point about pricing and maybe you're being a little insensitive to what Vincentians can afford. A template that goes across, like take St. Lucia for example. $100 in St. Lucia may not be the same thing as $100 in St. Vincent, essentially.
Right.
So are you having a cookie cutter approach, or are you being manipulative in terms of understanding that sensitivity with your pricing?
So certainly, start off by acknowledging every market is different. Every country, people is different. So we take those into account when we actually do our research and work on how we're going to price and package our services. Now, there are, of course, certain fixed and variable costs to any product, which does not necessarily vary greatly in any one market. So their costs are costs. What we have done, certainly, is take into account what the market conditions are and the price point. So just to use St. Lucia, we very recently launched Flow in St. Lucia a few months ago. And all our information for viewers is, in fact, on our website, www.discoverflow.co. There are packages, so the basic package on the new Flow platform in St. Vincent is in fact $100, in St. Lucia it's $108. Right. And in other cases it's more expensive there, slightly less expensive there, but generally the prices are very close and aligned. So we do take into account the differences in the market. We want to make sure our services are affordable to the average person. In fact, even on the broadband side specifically, the UN and ICT bodies recommend that broadband should be no more than 5% of your monthly income, take-home income, and we've certainly worked to ensure broadband packages are affordable. So that is how we approach our pricing, making sure it's affordable, taking into account market sensitivities, and also ensuring the price points can support the quality service that we wish to deliver to the public.
But just one thing I just want to emphasize is the fact that while there may be some similarities in terms of the pricing and the content, bear in mind that because we have those fixed costs, you will see some similarities in terms of the pricing.
Okay, Columbus is a big company, and right now we are stuck with the issue of television, and people see you as just TV right now, right. and yes, maybe internet, but sadly that's not really coming to the fore. I'm giving you this opportunity to tell the viewers here about Columbus. Who are we dealing with? What is Columbus? Who is Columbus?
So, and Shirley and I can speak on this because our corporate DNA and culture is a very important thing, actually the most important thing. Just as background, the company was started in 2004 by the chairman and founder Brendan Paddock, along with Mr. John Reeder, president and chief operating officer. The company started off in the Bahamas, and through organic growth in 10 years has spread to having the Flow brand in its 8 Caribbean countries, having another brand which deals with the submarine, the networks that connect the countries across the Caribbean, Central America, and as a matter of fact, we carry the majority of internet traffic that flows through South America into North America, and are actually the suppliers for many of our competitors. So our competitors are our best friends in that they're also our customers.
So you're saying, and just to reinterpret what you're saying, is that Columbus Communications owns a lot of bandwidth across the region.
Precisely.
It's not the majority of bandwidth.
Precisely.
It moves internet traffic into North America.
Precisely.
But that wasn't always the case, Tony. I remembered when I joined the company in 2004, I believe it was, we were one of the very first employees in Trinidad on the CCTT, the then cable provider, before we even made the announcement. We came in as a cable provider.
Right.
It was new to the market and new to us. So imagine us as an emerging, brand new telecoms company, starting off the brainchild of our chairman, Mr. Paddock, who is an entrepreneur at heart. I mean, he, very, very, very smart businessman, I have to say. And in the space of 10 years, we have grown from a company with one person, which was Mr. Paddock, to an employee base of over 2,500 employees throughout the region.
Right.
We have grown from a company of one service, which was cable, to a full scope wholesale and retail telecommunications brand. And where that was born, as we continued to support the delivery of our triple play service, which is what we consider the triple play, our internet, video and broadband, Mr. Paddock and the team obviously would look at who would provide our wholesale platform. So, and this is, I'm talking back in 2005, back in the day. And then he would, at the end of doing a cost analysis and a business case, he said, but I mean, the cost of me providing this thing, I might as well just
do it yourself.
Do it
Exactly.
myself. And that's where we started. And we started very small ring, if it is we were to look at the subsea fiber, which could be another technical discussion. But the subsea fiber and the network and the ring that our sister company, Columbus Network, supports is what supports the delivery of our Flow and Columbus Business Solutions
And people
brand.
like Digicel and Lime are customers of yours too.
We have
well,
several.
the Columbus network. That's it.
Correct.
That's right.
Columbus
We have
Networks.
several
Right,
telecommunications providers as well,
Right.
not just in the Caribbean, but in Latin America as well. So we have grown. We support a customer base of over 600,000. I mean, our subsea fiber spans expansively throughout the southern, central America region, Caribbean,
Right.
into Florida as well. It's a quite expansive group, and we are not boasting, but this is factual. We are the fastest growing telecommunications company in the region in the space of 10 years. I mean, look at what we've achieved. I'm not sitting here and saying that it's all the best. We are, but what I can say proudly is that we are committed to delivering a first world technology and service to our customers, and I've seen that firsthand throughout the years.
So beyond the box. Which is
Beyond the box. I
TV.
like that.
Yeah.
Beyond the box.
I'm,
I like that.
it's for
You
sale.
trademark that.
I've
Trademark
taken
it, right?
yours.
Let's take
It is for
notes.
sale. Yeah, but I mean, let's get serious. You are going to offer multi-tiered services because you've got
Yes.
a big backbone,
That's
you
right.
know, and I'm sure you're coming with services that are aimed at business or business solutions.
That's right.
You care to tell me what some of those are?
And I'd also like to bring this back to St.
Yeah.
Vincent, right? Which is certainly where we are and where we're focused on. So we plan to make a total investment in St. Vincent of between 15 to 20 million US dollars. Now that is not just investment in technology and equipment and vehicles and so forth. It's investment in people. As I mentioned earlier, we plan to grow our headcount, our staff complement quite aggressively. We plan to upskill, train our staff so we can deliver better service and in fact become an employer of choice. But more importantly, we're seeking an active discussions with various partners, whether government, private, etc., to see how we can better enable development and growth in St. Vincent through the use of ICT. So Shelley spoke earlier to TechLink via Brightpath, that's one example. We've done partnerships in other countries to provide discounted or free internet and educational cable to schools. So really about leaving a lasting legacy in the countries in which we operate and ensure we can contribute to the economic development of the countries in which we operate. So that for me is a very, very important thing. We have committed and made this investment and will continue to make an investment in St. Vincent to the betterment of the economy.
So you got your work cut out because on the one hand it's nice. I mean, it's encouraging to hear all of this, but on the other hand, you've got these immediate problems to surmount, and I don't want to go back to those, but we know what they are. As we're talking about corporate social responsibility, we start to allude to that. What do you see Columbus? What's the things that you typically get involved in the other markets? Typically, because I know you're probably going to bring the same model here.
Yes.
Maybe with a bit of an adjustment, but what do you typically get involved in?
Our philosophy is to hit where it matters most, and that's the heart of the community. We have and how do we do it is through our technology. So we focus very heavily on initiatives that focus on learning and using technology and how you bridge that gap. We focus heavily on cultural development. And when we say cultural, we were speaking about it earlier, and we alluded to earlier in terms of our alliances with local producers
Because you're
and
in the business
providers.
of movies and videos,
That's
so
right.
that's
so
a
it's
natural,
it's a natural
fit.
That's
Yes.
right. And so our partnerships, and when we talk about learning and bridging that gap with technology, that's where partnerships with CXC comes in. We
Right.
have an arrangement with CXC in terms of helping them and working closely in terms of the online digital syllabus, which again ties back into us as a Caribbean person. How is it relevant to me? And that's what it's about.
So where's this been having traction? Because St. Vincent, you're new, and you've been in the Trinidad market, I think, for how long now?
For about 9 years.
9
10
years. So Trinidad is perhaps your oldest.
Trinidad and Jamaica.
Right. So those things that you speak about having traction in those markets.
That's right. They exist very, very actively. So the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival partnerships, which we spoke about earlier, investment in art and culture, the direct outreach in terms of the local producers and showcasing their content locally and internationally as well.
Right.
They reach the partnerships with the networks and the providers to provide their content not just in Trinidad or Jamaica, but throughout the diaspora as well. We also look at the learning and technology, rebated cable and broadband in schools. Again, but the thing is, you can provide the technology, but the big question is how you use it. And that's where the partnerships come in.
Right. Right. That's very, very, very important. And as you're speaking, light bulbs are going off in my head. You know, the IKTV Flow Film Festival, you know, that's something we can keep our eyes on.
Yes, the light bulbs.
But
yes.
but let's get back to as we close out the program, because I'm pretty sure we've just got a few more minutes left. As we close out, what are your timelines, you think, for getting fully operational? When I mean fully, I'm talking about all the other glorious things that we've spoken about. You know, not just the television, but everything. With your CSR kicking into place, what timelines do you think you're looking at for all of that?
Sure, Jim. We're looking at very, very soon. Now, needless to say, there is so much to be done in all different angles. We can't do it all one time. If we get the resources, we can, but the reality is we can't. So we are focusing on, one, operationally, ensuring that we get the internal, external processes in place, getting our customers comfortable with what is happening. And parallel to that, we are going to start rolling out our corporate social responsibility initiatives. So very soon, and I invite the public to stay tuned to IKTV to find out when TechLink is going to come into their area and when we are going to start to have individual community activities tailored to them.
Sounds very interesting. Chris, as we close out, any final comments or sales pitches you want to make? So I'm giving you the platform.
You're giving me the platform, the open platform.
Free advertising.
This is the free advertising.
This is the free advertising.
Sorry, no, I don't use it for free advertising. I just want to reiterate what we've been stating before, which is our commitment to investment in St. Vincent, our commitment to actually provide improved service and offerings and better value for money through our new services. I think our strongest demonstration of this is, in fact, our new Flow portfolio. And most importantly, our plans through CSR, our plans through partnerships, public-private partnerships to find opportunities for the betterment of St. Vincent. I certainly want to say to viewers that we have in fact acknowledged and understand the concerns we're really addressing and working to better communicate with customers, but we are in it for the long haul, and we certainly want to build a relationship where we're seen as the best service provider for consumers, and they can certainly feel they have value for money in the services they consume from us.
And in the last minute, staff, and we're talking about growth, or we're talking about downsizing?
We're talking about significant growth. Significant growth. We have numerous vacancies open, and we plan to further grow the business as our customer base grows. So we do recognize the need for resources. We do make those investments, as I mentioned, not just in technology, but in people. And we will build a cadre of specialized and very skilled labor, certainly within our ranks in the company.
So you're going to have a growing staff base?
Yes, we will.
We actually have 16 persons to hire within the next few weeks.
That's
and that's just now alone.
Yeah.
And that figure is going to go beyond 16, you hope?
That's right, as we improve our processes.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you,
Shelly Ann, thanks for coming on.
Thank
Chris,
you, Tony.
Thanks a lot for coming. This has been another edition of Unrendered. My guest was the country manager of Flow, Mr. Christopher Gordon, and the regional sales and marketing vice president, Mrs. Shelly Ann He Chow. Do look at Unrendered the next time it is. Thank you for viewing.